Clinical informatics tools are an invaluable resource to help investigators identify interesting patient populations, conduct cohort discovery, find the eligibility of a study, prepare for study design and biostatistics, consult, assess potential partner sites for multi-site studies, and make data-driven decisions about joining existing trials. This video provides a structured approach to finding the right tool for the job and how you can use it in a strategic, goal-directed way as you build your research career. The first step is to identify your research topic. Start with your areas of interest. Where are you clinically curious? Are there particular types of patients you're interested in, or different clinical scenarios? What clinical care settings or preventive services are you most interested in? Additionally, consider areas where there are currently healthcare evidence gaps, significant health disparities you are interested in addressing, or quality improvement measures. The second step is to select the best data source. What type of search are you trying to do? Some clinical informatics tools can be described as wide and thin. These are tools providing data from many sites, usually harmonized to a shared data structure. These are better for exploring trends, variability, and potential multi-site studies. Generally, wide and thin gives an investigator broad reach with limited depth. National networks like the ENAC network and other regional networks are examples of wide and thin tools. Other clinical informatics tools can be described as narrow and deep. These tools often provide very granular information, usually derived from electronic health records for a single site or small group of sites. These types of tools are very useful in understanding local patient populations in depth and for single-site clinical trials. Local tools based on electronic health records such as I2B2 are examples of narrow and deep informatic tools. Both types of tools, wide and thin and narrow and deep, are valuable for investigators conducting clinical research. Depending on your data needs and clinical research goals, for step 3, you're going to conduct cohort discovery to distill your clinical specifications down into queries. You will first need to understand the data coding schema. What data is contained in the resources that you have at your disposal, depending on the tool. This will likely include diagnoses, procedures, labs, drugs dispensed, visit details, and patient-level demographic data. Next, understand how nested cohorts work. For example, you can select a patient set by diagnosis. Then ask of these patients how many have had X procedure, then what comorbidities occur in this population. Finally, make sure you understand how to use logic statements in your queries. For example, you might query for diagnosis A and procedure B, then refine this query for not medication C, then add time range D. Step 4 is when you validate and iterate. Your clinical experience can provide a valuable gut check for your query results. Are your results significantly different than what you expected to find? Might the query results indicate coding differences between different sites? Consider using established validated codes often found in the clinical epidemiology or health services research literature. Collaborate with others to check your gut. Then build on your query. Review and revise your query terms and add in new terms one at a time to explore each term's impact on the size of your patient cohort. Strive to balance study eligibility criteria with feasibility. Step 5. Decide. Does my study look feasible? Is the patient count for my institution large enough to power the study? Or is a multi-site study needed? If so, which sites would make ideal partners based on their patient population? Should I join a proposed multi-site study or not? Don't forget, these tools are a starting point for your feasibility assessment. You'll also need to factor in your ability to recruit potential patients for your study. In step 6, you're going to use your results. Results from clinical informatics tools can be used to demonstrate feasibility in funding proposals and IRB submissions. Your results can also be used to approach potential collaborators for a multi-site study and to quickly respond to invitations to join existing multi-site studies. Your query results can provide a pathway to recruiting patients by re-identification of patients using your institution's honest broker processes following local IRB approval. Consider using clinical informatics tools to recruit for IRB-approved studies on a rolling basis, and especially if your study is encountering problems accruing enough patients. Clinical informatics tools can help you reach patients outside your immediate clinical setting or rapidly identify potential new sites for a multi-site study. Your local Clinical and Translational Science Award Institute can provide both access and training for clinical informatics tools available at your institution. Contact your local CTSA Institute to learn more. Enact. Explore, discover, connect.